Wisconsin's largest and most prominent newspaper has a new boss leading its team of journalists. Greg Borowski was named executive editor of the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel in February. In our Sunday morning spotlight, Victor Rakobo shares Borowski's career path, how he's embracing the challenges of today's newspaper industry, and why working for his hometown newspaper has been a dream come true.
Your Sunday morning routine, along with watching this program, may include catching up on the happenings of the world, whether that be on a phone, tablet, or computer. But for some, they still enjoy the ritual of sitting down and opening a newspaper, a tradition still alive in the era when people get news in email inboxes instead of on their porch.
My earliest memories of being in the news business were probably when I was a newspaper carrier back when I was age 12.
Greg Borowski grew up in the River West neighborhood of Milwaukee and entered the news business early on.
My brother and I got a route covering we had two routes covering the Sentinel and sort of split it up and would go down each side of the street throwing the papers on the porch. The midpoint of our route was Nino's Bakery, so we would always stop there, see if we could scrape together enough money to buy a couple jelly donuts and chocolate milk, and then we would sit on the stoop and open up the papers and kind of read about what was going on.
Now, Borowski has gone from delivering the newspaper on his bike to determining what goes in the paper from his office at the Journal Sentinel.
Why did you want this job?
There's no other newsroom where I would want the top job.
Borowski was named executive editor in February, succeeding George Stanley, who retired late last year. Coincidentally, Stanley was the managing editor who hired Borowski in 1998 as a City Hall beat reporter.
For me, it was a dream come true to come back and cover your hometown.
Over the last quarter of a century, the newspaper business has gone through dramatic changes and struggles.
There's no secret there's all sorts of challenges in the news industry, ad revenues, circulation, all kinds of things, just even fighting for the time of readers and folks out there.
As online news consumption became standard, circulation of newspapers have declined in the U.S. for decades. And with that, the number of journalists who fill paper newsrooms have shrunk, even as the landscape for news consumption has grown.
For those reporters, it's a much higher pace than it was, years ago. But the other factor of the online world, we think of social media and everything, is that it's really changed the level of scrutiny that reporters are facing.
But Borowski says JS is embracing the challenges, balancing its online product with its paper product and strengthening other mediums.
We've pushed ourselves to do more with audio, more with video. We have a studio here where we can, with the green screen background, and we can record different things.
Meeting the challenges of covering news in Milwaukee and southeastern Wisconsin is not just for the benefit of the paper, but vital for the community to succeed, Borowski says.
When you think about all the problems that we have in this community, deep-seated challenges from segregation and poverty, struggles in education and crime, that for this community to really thrive, it needs a newsroom that's strong and thriving. And I really feel like that was the thing that appealed most to me about it, was an ability to help direct this newsroom and direct our reporting around these topics and issues to be sure that we reflect the full community, that we're not shirking from tough stories, that we're tackling things and providing things as best we can in a balanced way for our readers and subscribers.
Borowski, though soft-spoken, has earned the respect of his colleagues at the JS offices, where he makes frequent visits to different desks to learn what his reporters are working on and provide guidance.
I believe we've got some of the strongest reporters in the country in this newsroom. We were able, better than anybody else, to get out there and tell the news with breadth and depth and balance, and to give a full picture of what's happening in our community.
And as he begins a new era for the state's largest newspaper, he wants the community to know he and his staff are ready to listen, learn, and report.
The first thing I think readers can expect is that they're going to see more of us. They're going to see us out in the community. We're going to be doing our level best to tell stories that reflect everybody who lives here in Milwaukee.
As executive editor, Borowski manages the Journal Sentinel's present and guides its future. His paper shares the first draft of history for the city he grew up in. And he says he's in it for the long haul.
I've been in this newsroom for 25 years. I don't see myself moving to another newsroom. I haven't over that time, and will want to be here and am committed here, and I know our staff is as well, and that's a real gives me a great confidence in our ability to tackle any challenge out there and to keep forging ahead with the kind of stories that we want to tell and that the community needs to have told.
You'll find